Welcome back. Thanks for stopping by, and let's analyze what the stock market did today, Wednesday, February 9, 2022. This is a daily chart of the S&P 500, and it was a very strong day. Mentioned in my previous video about the range, the trading range, multi trading range between 45.30 and 44.50. Was hesitant yesterday at the end of the day when it pushed above that level and above the 20 and the 5-day moving average. Decided to wait until today. Well, I'm not surprised that it gapped higher. However, I was surprised that it gapped more than 40 points. No news, no catalyst. I don't know what happened, but it is what it is. As a result, made my entry point more tricky, trying to find an entry point and trying to find a stop loss level made it a little more difficult than I anticipated. However, for the record, I am long BIUPRO ETF, and bought it at the end of the day during extended hours. My stop loss, my hard stop loss, is under 4,500, under the 10-day moving average. For some reason, we trade lower below that level tomorrow, first thing in the morning. My order will get executed. Otherwise, my discretionary stop loss, meaning is based on real-time price action patterns, will be around the 5-day and the 20-day moving averages. I'll be watching that level very closely if we dip below 45.30 tomorrow. If for some reason we gap higher tomorrow, I will not buy more. Oh, by the way, I only bought half of what I normally buy, based on the fact of the big gap and my stop loss being so loose or so wide. So anyways, for tomorrow, what would I expect is trading above the 100-day moving average. The only moving average above that might act as resistance is the 20-day moving, no, the 50-day moving average is this purple line here, and the 4,600 level pushes above that. And of course, the path of least resistance will be higher, as it will be above all the moving averages. But it was such a big gap today. I would not be surprised if we end up trading lower tomorrow or the next few days. That's the reason why my stop loss is so wide. If that's the case, I'll be looking for another entry point where I can add to my position. If we end up going higher, I will just ride with whatever I have and enjoy the ride. But this one was very bullish. It was able to close above near the high of the day. Very minor pullbacks during the day, which means that it's very strong. The fact that it was able to lose time and not points, to me, that suggests higher prices. Reason why I decided to go long. Nasdaq 100, this is a daily chart, was able to break out of the trading range we're looking at under 14,900 and the 14,400. Now it's trading above the 20-day moving average, and it's pushing above the 200-day moving average. Yes, I understand that could act as a resistance, but based on the momentum, I think in the coming sessions, it can push above that. If we pull back in the next session or two, I would not be surprised. For the record, I am long via the TQQQ ETF. I bought it at the end of the day, or actually during extended hours or after hours. It was a very bullish day. Cassette is back above all these moving averages. Lots of resistance overhead, so I do not expect another move like we saw here. I expect more of a choppy trade, but definitely looks more bullish than bearish to me. Levels that I'll be watching tomorrow will definitely be this green zone here. My stop loss is below the 10-day moving average. Just below that, I will automatically get stopped out. However, my discretionary stop loss, meaning it's based on real-time price action patterns, will be around the 20-day moving average. For tomorrow, those are the levels that I'll be watching. To the upside will be this high And this level here around 15,200 breaks above that. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. If it does, then good. I will just enjoy the ride. If, however, we end up pulling back, I will consider look for another setup where I can add to my position. As I only bought half of what I normally buy based on this big wide stop loss. So I had to reduce my share size to compensate for that. Oh, by the way, tomorrow's the CPI is a consumer price index, so that will definitely move the market. That will be before the market opens, so expect a big either gap up or down. But I doubt that we're going to open flattish. That's the other reason why my share size was smaller than usual, just to be able to absorb that big gap down in the morning, just in case. Dow Jones Industrial Average, very bullish also, was able to trade above this range. I was watching it very closely and I really wanted to buy this one, but I decided to just buy the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. But this one is back above all these moving averages, above this level also. So the path of least resistance is north. I would not be surprised, believe it or not, if in the next, I don't know, week or so or 2 weeks, we end up pushing near all-time highs. But this one is very strong, strongest of all the indices. This is a Philadelphia Semiconductor Index. This one was very strong today, very strong. Gapped higher, sold off, big retracement, bounced off the 20-day moving average. I was watching it, didn't really want to buy it. I was more interested in buying either the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq, as I normally trade those indices better than the Philly Semiconductor Index. However, very bullish, was able to push above the 100-day moving average, close near the high of the day. Um, so far, I don't see any divergences between the indices. Everything seems to be pushing higher. So this one looks good also. Now the Russell 2000 small caps IWM. This one has been the weakest of all the indices, but it has changed in the last 2-3 sessions. This one was able to push above this big, strong resistance between 203.5 and 202.5, and the 20-day moving average declining was able to push much higher than that today, close at the highs of the day. So this one is looking very strong. How high will it go? Nobody knows really. Lots of resistance overhead, but today's price action, actually the last 3 days, have been very strong. So don't be surprised if we push much higher from now. We'll play it session by session, but there's no divergences between all the indices. The market looks very strong, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. See if it continues, or was it just a fake out to the upside. Let's play session by session. Thanks for stopping by, and good luck trading tomorrow.